1-800-RESPECT. Can I help you?
My boyfriend just beat me up. What do I do? Do I call the police?
Do you feel confident to contact the police?
What will they do?
2 years ago, Rosie Cooney made a desperate plea for help in the Blue Mountains suburb of Bullabarra.
Thank you, police emergency. Hi, I just tried to call you. I didn't think it was a problem, but my boyfriend beat me up. Were there any weapons used or threatened? No, he just hit me with his fist and he hit his head against me. He pushed me. Okay.
With the belongings outside.
Is there any AVOs in place?
Yes, against him, but not from me.
Okay, so it's not between you two? Alright, I'm popping a job on for police. The next available car will be out to you. You okay? Okay? Take care, Rosie.
Within hours, the 22-year-old would be detained in a police cell.
What I saw that day, like the way I was treated, just demonstrated that you just don't call the police when you're assaulted.
It's a deprivation of liberty that, in my view, is unlawful.
730 has obtained the police body cam footage which lays bare the shocking circumstances that led to her arrest. 45 minutes after receiving the call, police officers arrive. Rosie has left the house. Her boyfriend Christian Sorzak and his parents are on hand to greet police.
Morning. Just so you're aware, we're wearing body-worn video today, so conversation actions have been recorded.
Christian has previously had 2 AVOs taken out against him, one of them for alleged domestic violence in a former relationship.
What's the story? Christian, was it?
The story, as Christian tells it, is that his girlfriend has been demanding intimacy and becoming hysterical, and earlier that morning things flared up as he tried to leave.
She kept following me. I tried to get in the car to go, and I was pushing her out, and we bumped heads, right? And I put pressure on her arm, pushing her out of the car, and that was out of place, obviously, but I did it.
The officer asks Christians more about how the couple bumped heads. Christian says it was accidental. Rosie says it wasn't.
He grabbed me by the back of my neck and then hit me with his head, like right here, and that was like, I don't really know. I know I was awake, like I just don't remember like seeing. I don't remember just like seeing like dots and stuff in my eyes. It really scared me, and so I was thinking like I just need to get out. Like I was just like feeling for the handle on for the door to get out.
Did you headbutt her, or was it an accidental bump?
It was accidental.
Police then attempt to obtain evidence about Rosie assaulting Christian.
Has there been any other assault? I notice you've got a scratch on your face, just under your chin there. Is that as a result? Is it? Just, yeah, it could be. Just under, or about 2 inches under your left ear, just on the chin line. She hasn't grabbed or done anything to you this morning, scratched, hit, or anything like that? Okay.
Hasn't been anything. Hasn't been serious physical contact.
Within 10 minutes of arriving, the officer concludes Rosie wasn't assaulted at all.
I mean, so she's made an allegation that you've assaulted her, but I mean, as you describe it, I don't believe there's any case to answer there in terms of an assault allegation.
She demands intimacy every night.
Former magistrate David Halpern presided over countless domestic violence cases and was shocked at this exchange.
To form a conclusion that an alleged perpetrator of domestic violence is that there's no case to answer before speaking to the victim obviously defies logic. Until you have spoken to the victim, how can you possibly rationally form that conclusion?
In Rosie's absence, the group discusses her mental health and whether she should continue to live in their home. The officer then suggests again that Christian could have been assaulted.
From that incident, I mean, obviously her climbing on top of you could be construed as an assault upon you as well.
He asks once more whether Christian is scared of Rosie hurting him.
Christian, in terms of her behaviour, do you have any fears about her behaviour towards you? Do you fear that she'll assault you? Do you fear that she'll damage your property or anything like that?
No, nothing like that.
You don't?
No, God, no.
By now, Rosie has returned to the house and is listening from a nearby room.
I was thinking, this is a joke. I was thinking, are you serious? He's the perpetrator, not me.
I watched it twice to make sure it was for real. It seemed to be a complete turnaround where the perpetrator becomes the victim becomes the perpetrator.
Given the circumstances that's happened today, I don't think I've got the grounds to take an order out. I'll have to confirm with the sergeant that.
The police officer does keep on asking and really encouraging the man to harden his story.
There she's there.
Almost 30 minutes into the visit, the officer finally speaks to Rosie.
Did you want to take a seat and tell us what's happened, or?
No, I'm not. It's fine. It's not a waste of time. It's nothing.
Have you been assaulted today?
It's fine. It's nothing. Alright.
It's just wrong. And I just felt there's no way I could tell the police when I'd heard all that. How could I speak to them? How could I tell them what had happened when they'd already decided? They'd already made up their mind.
It was characterised by, on my hearing, a tone of disbelief and a tone of suspicion right from the start. When you compare that to the tone of how they were speaking to Christian right at the start, well, it tells you where their minds were at that time, and it looks to me like Rosie picks up on that.
Okay, well, do you want to come out here and have a chat with the other members of the family here, or...?
The police officer brings Rosie out in front of the family. There's no suggestion that the parents have any knowledge of the alleged abuse. Rosie becomes distressed and starts to detail allegations of violence.
Well, how do I make him stop hurting me then?
Give him some space when he's on a shift.
I'm scared to talk to him. He's not working this week, and yet he loses it. He breaks things. He breaks glass. He breaks all my things.
That isn't how I saw it.
You didn't see him in the laundry hitting me, then out in the car he was hitting me. I didn't want to go because I wanted to talk to me about it.
As she becomes more upset, the police officer speaks up.
These guys own the house, and they've got the right to say who lives here and who doesn't. And if they've got people living here that cause them serious issues, like such as the police turning up to their house, they've got the right to tell you you're not allowed to be here anymore. And if they say that to you, then you do have to leave, or you're considered trespassing, okay? Now, in terms of what you are saying now that you didn't want to say to me before, if you want to make allegations of assault in a statement, I'm happy to take those allegations from you and investigate them, as I said before, but you must understand that if you make false allegations, that is an offence. And if it comes out that they are false, if it comes out that they are false allegations and there's evidence to the contrary, you may be in trouble. So you need to be sure that you're telling us the truth if you decide to do that.
The police leave without a statement from Rosie.
All right, we're going to go, guys. Call us back if you need assistance, okay?
They return later in the day to discuss with Christian the possibility of pursuing an AVO and formal criminal charges against Rosie.
Sorry to keep hassling you, Christian. Look, I just wanted to come back. I've spoken with our inspector, our boss, about this incident, and he wanted me to come back and offer you the opportunity to give a statement about what happened in the car this morning in terms of her basically getting on you and trying to prevent you from leaving and treating that as an allegation of an assault against her. Do you want to supply us a statement about that?
Yes.
You do? After the incident this morning, we've obtained some further statements and some further information about what happened.
Christian makes a statement to police, and Rosie's later arrested for assault and for trespassing after she returned to the house to collect her bike.
So at this point in time, you are under arrest, okay? You're under arrest for a domestic violence assault and for trespassing up at Bullaborough.
I didn't hit him, he hit me.
I'm not sure. I'll walk up to Hijab. I'll walk up.
I think it makes you question like who you are, like makes you question how you deserve to be treated, like makes you question things about the law, about police, about society. Like it's all flawed when they can get it so wrong. It doesn't matter about the truth.
Former Magistrate David Halpern is calling for an independent inquiry into Rosie's treatment, including the hours she spent in custody.
It was not necessary for her to be arrested at her house. It was not necessary for her to be held in custody for that length of time. This is a case that certainly warrants investigation by the Law Enforcement Conduct Commission. Serious questions need to be asked of these officers about why they made the decisions that they did, because if there has been any misconduct, it should be publicised and dealt with and reported to Parliament.
Women experiencing violence will lose faith and they'll lose trust in that system and feel that they can't rely upon police and courts to protect them. And that's terribly dangerous.
Hayley Foster works in domestic violence prevention and says her research shows that cases like Rosie's are common.
The victims themselves may appear very irate, irrational, overwhelmed, and not very credible either. And that's, really typical. Whereas the offender on the other side, he can actually be very clear, very calm, very coherent, and very convincing.
She says the solution lies with better domestic violence training for officers.
Being able to identify those perpetrator patterns. If you don't understand the dynamics, you're going to easily get that wrong.
Rosie was later convicted of trespassing, but the assault charges were dropped. An AVO against her is still in place. 730 contacted Christian with a series of written questions that he didn't directly respond to. Christian maintains he didn't assault Rosie. Christian's father wrote to 730 and said he had separately contacted local police about Rosie's behaviour and that he found police to be professional. But both Christian and his father told 730 they have never seen Rosie become physically threatening in any way. Rosie complained about the police officer's conduct, but police decided not to investigate her claims. New South Wales Police also wouldn't respond to detailed questions for legal reasons.
I will never call the police again. Doesn't matter for what. Especially if I'm assaulted, I won't call the police. Because you can end up being arrested and then having to relive it every day.
And if that story's raised issues for you, support is available on the National Sexual Assault and Family Violence Counselling Helpline, 1800-RESPECT. That's 1800 737 732. All calls to the service are confidential. Rosie Cooney consented to having her call made public for our story tonight. Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 730's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.